about free spirit, so um, I hope it gives us a little levity and helps us appreciate, the good in the world. So we're starting class today on our back with our knees up in restful bridge. So letting our feet be wide and our knees together. I'm going to turn on one more light. So I have a little extra light. And then we'll get rolling. So if you want to hit play and find a restorative bridge with our feet wider than like the edges of the mat to the edge of the mat and our knees together. And my puppy has become my yoga buddy lately. He just climbs all over me. So I try to ignore him, but you'll see he's all about the yoga, and he's gotten so big. I think he's doubled since y'all saw him last. So closing our eyes in our restful bridge and placing one hand on our heart and one hand on our belly. Taking a few deep breaths. And I'm going to read from these cards. They're called affirmators. Actually, I'll show you on camera. Puppy. It's a really great deck. At school, we have one that I use that are power thought cards, but they're at school. So these are affirmators. Today's card we're reading is Follow Your Heart. So I'm going to put it up really close just so that you can see it for a second, but I'll read from it while you're resting. And if you'd like, I'm happy to take a picture of it and send it to you. It's a pretty great card. So seeing if we, as we're breathing, we can find our heartbeat. Follow your heart. I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that it's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. I choose to follow my heart. So we're breathing. Seeing if we can connect into that heart space. Taking another breath here. And then when we're ready, placing our hands outside our hips and bringing our feet back under our knees, hip distance apart. And then moving into a flowing bridge. Inhaling as we lift our hips up. Exhaling as we lower down. Inhaling as we lift up. And maybe closing our eyes. And noticing where we feel, what motions and muscles are working in our body to create our bridge. And today, if we're feeling like we need a lot of movement, we're going to add our upper body. Inhaling as we bring our arms overhead, and exhaling as we float everything back down. Drop. Taking one more breath up and down. And then bringing our knees into our chest. And we're going to extend our arms out wide. And just slowly begin rocking our knees side to side. Just till we start to lift our hip up. Ow! Hey, that hurt. No biting. And rocking gently side to side, feeling that twist in our back. And then coming back to center and wrapping our arms around our shins, giving ourselves a big hug. Hey man, that's not cool. ready, we're gonna roll over onto one side and make our way up to our hands and knees. Dude, that hurts. Lay down there. Be a good dog and lay down there. Eat your toy. Making our way up into a flat back with our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And then moving through some cow and cat breaths, inhaling as we arch the spine, lifting through the crown of the head, and exhaling as we pull our spine back up, rounding through the back, flowing through cow and cat. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to put the doggy outside. You go outside. You're just attacking me too much. He knows I'm filming. Taking one more breath up and down. And then finding our flat back. And today we're going to give ourselves permission to free our spine. So finding any kind of movement of the spine that is different than our normal spinal movement. So maybe we're bringing our shoulder toward our hip, or maybe we're making circles, or maybe we're making snake-like motions with our back. Freeing up our spine from its normal, whatever our normal is. So finding weird ways. Nobody's watching you. Feel free to explore different movements of the spine. Any kind of movement that feels good and different. And thinking of it as stretching our backs in new ways. And then coming back to center, we're going to walk our hands out a little bit forward of our shoulders, inhaling as we come into kneeling plank, shoulders over hands with our hips down, and then exhaling as we press back into child's pose, flowing back and forth between this kneeling plank and child's pose. And seeing if we can keep our belly in tight throughout all of it. So pulling in through our belly button, up through our spine, into our glutes. And taking one more flow here. And coming back into child's pose. And either letting our forehead rest on the mat, or maybe bringing fists together underneath our forehead, or bringing our hands by our feet. I'm going to stay here for a moment and just take a breath. And feel like we're a tiny little seed planted deep in the earth. How small can we make our bodies? And then breathing some life into that seed so that we can grow and bloom. The tulips in my yard are in full bloom. I'm most excited because my peonies are coming up. I love it when they bloom. Taking one more breath here. And then tucking our toes under our feet, pressing our hips to the sky, extending our arms, and moving into a downward facing dog, pedaling out our feet. We're expanding our seed, we're growing, imagining that just behind our hips is the surface of the ground, and we're going to pop through it in just a moment. We're preparing to grow. So taking any kind of movement here in down dog, maybe we want to move between plank and down dog to get ready to pierce the surface of the ground, to grow up from our seed. Taking one more breath here and then walking our feet into our hands, softening our knees. Stay here. Softening our knees. And then inhaling, circle sweep our arms, moving up through the surface and coming out into the sunlight. Standing tall, and then exhaling as we bring our hands by our hips, finding our mountain. Standing tall, shoulder blades together. Taking a few breaths here. And then turning along the edge of our mat or towel or whatever we're practicing with today, turning our toes out to the corners, inhaling up, finding our 5-pointed star, and then exhaling as we come down into moonflowers, bending our knees over toes, inhaling up and exhaling down. Feeling our heat in our quads and in our glutes. Spine nice and straight, reaching up. And in our next time that we come up to 5-pointed star, finding as much space as we can take. How wide can we make ourselves? How big and expanded can we make our body? And then we're going to take a breath flow here, arching the back. So I'm reaching wide and arching back. And then exhaling as we come forward, bringing our hands together. So we're kind of taking a cat-cow, but we're adding our arms. And maybe if it feels good, imagining we're making butterfly wings, flapping our wings or bird wings. Freeing ourselves from whatever stress, anxiety, tension. Opening up. And taking one more flow like this. Coming back to our 5-pointed star. And then hinging at the hips, softening our knees over toes, coming into sunflower. And today we're going to connect our thumbs above our head and then draw a big circle with our pinkies, touching our pinkies together at the bottom. So we're making a giant circle, a big sun. Inhaling as we come up and exhaling as we come down. Taking one more breath here. We're going to stay down and then slide our hands to our thighs and just drop our right shoulder and look up over our left. Inhaling back to center, exhaling as we twist. And just finding a little spinal twist flow here. Today we're being wild and free, so we're really going to fall out of the norm and really feel free. Give yourselves permission to just move and flow in any position, any pose that we get into. Coming back to center, finding our sunflower once more, inhaling up to 5-pointed star, and then exhaling as we come to the top of our mat, returning to Tadasana, to mountain, feet hip distance apart, and then taking a flowing chair, inhaling up, exhaling as we hinge the hips, reaching forward, overflowing our chair. And feel free, try a different arm move today. Maybe we come out to the side. Or maybe we do something that's a little bit more wild. Feeling free to move a little bit differently as we move in and out of chair. Taking one more breath here. And then coming back to mountain, setting up for our first sun salutation. Feeling free to do any version of a sun salutation. Today I'm going to be standing, but feel free to modify. I'll cue us through both. Or take a different version of sun salutation if you have a different one in your practice. We're going to take a big breath in. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Bringing our hands to the floor, forward fold. And stepping back with the right foot or right knee on the floor. Inhaling as we come up into our crescent lunge or kneeling lunge. Exhaling down, stepping back with the right foot or sliding the left knee back, finding down dog or child's pose.
Taking a breath here. On our next inhale, moving into plank, either kneeling or on our toes. Exhaling, we're only going to come halfway down today. And then inhaling as we press up. Releasing our toes and knees, coming into up dog or coming into cobra. And then exhaling back to child's pose or down dog. Taking your breath here. And then as we inhale, stepping in with the right foot. Exhale as we hinge back to upright. Inhale, taking a breath up to the ceiling, to the sky. Exhaling down. Stepping in with our left foot. Hands on our shins as we come halfway up. Exhale down, release, soften the knees, circle sweep our arms up into mountain. Exhaling to chair. Inhaling back up, taking one more sun salutation, forward fold. This time stepping back with the left foot, finding whatever variation of lunge. Stepping back with the right foot or knee, child's pose or down dog. And then inhaling as we come into our plank. Just coming halfway down and then pressing up into cobra as we exhale. Tucking the toes, coming back to down dog. And then bringing the left foot in or knee. Inhaling as we come up. Taking our lunge. Exhaling back down, framing the foot, stepping in with the right foot. Hands on the shins as we come halfway up. Soften our knees, circle sweep up. Finishing with the chair. And coming back into mountain. Placing our hands on our heart. Feeling the heartbeat. Is it regular? Do we feel the pounding? Do we feel the beating, the dancing of our heart? Taking one more breath here. And then stepping back with our right foot, opening the toe, planting our heel, and sinking into our left knee. We're going to keep our hand at our heart. Turn our shoulders center, and bring our palms together. Inhaling up, and then exhaling, coming back down into heart center. So we're in warrior one, just adding a flow with our arms. And we have lots of options with our arm flow. We can flow up and down. We can flow out and up. We could cactus our arms and flow here. Any variation of an arm flow that feels good. As we inhale, expanding, opening our chest. Exhaling as we come back to heart center in whatever variation of a flow that we have. Taking one more breath here. Reaching up to the sky with our hands and exhaling as we open up our hands, turn our left foot out and find our warrior two. Relaxing our shoulders down and imagining we're pushing our palms down. So we feel some tension as we press down to the earth and then let our crown, our head rise tall. Taking a breath here, and then straightening our right knee, inhaling as we reach forward, and exhaling as we come into triangle. And we're going to revolve our triangle today, so keeping that length, inhaling. As we exhale, bringing our hands together, bringing our shoulders into the floor, and then inhaling as we lift the left or the right arm up. We can bring our hand to our hip if that feels okay, or we can keep it up to the sky, wherever it feels better. Exhaling back down, and then inhaling as we rotate back into triangle. So flowing into a revolved triangle, back to triangle. Taking one more flow, and the next time we're aimed down at the floor, we're going to soften our right knee. Let our right elbow rest on the thigh, and then inhale as we rotate up, finding side angle, looking up to the sky. Taking some deep breaths. And then exhaling, cartwheeling our arms, coming back, reverse warrior, right hand overhead, left hand behind us. And imagining we feel the sunshine on our face, warming us up, bringing us light. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, lifting the left heel, stepping back into our mountain, closing our eyes, rolling our shoulders a few times, and then stepping back with the right foot. Finding our left knee bent, bringing our hands to heart center and coming to upright. And finding that whatever arm flow feels good. And maybe on this side, trying a different arm flow. Exhaling as we come together, inhaling as we open up. Trying to feel something different today. Can we find some new space? Some new movement? Taking one more breath here. And then inhaling as we reach up to the sky. Exhaling as we open up. Turning out that right foot and finding our warrior two. Opening the shoulders, relaxing down. Seeing if we creep up here, we want to press down with our palms. Like we're pushing down on imaginary blocks. Feeling that tension. And then straightening the left knee, inhaling as we hinge toward the left, and exhale as we come down into our triangle, stacking our arms, and working toward our revolved triangle flow. Taking an inhale as we're here, exhaling, bringing the hands together, inhaling as we rotate back. And we always could put a hand on a hip instead of coming all the way high, shortening our lever. Feeling that twist. Twists are really important. They give us lots of freedom in our core. They help open things up, move things along. Taking one more flow either way, and then coming back facing the floor, bending our left knee right over our foot and bringing our left elbow down. Inhaling as we open up the right arm and find our side angle. Taking a few more breaths here. And then inhaling, unwinding, keeping our legs the same and our upper body rotated back, left hand overhead, finding our reverse warrior. Taking one more breath here. And as we exhale, unwinding, lifting our left heel, right heel up, and then stepping back into mountain. And then moving into some lateral flexion, inhaling as we reach our right hand up, our left hand down. Exhaling as we come back to center, inhaling as we switch. Finding that flow side to side, feeling the stretch through our spine. And then changing our motion. Maybe we're going to twist as we have that lateral flexion. So adding just a little bit of a twist again, freeing up our core. Just changing things up. It's good for our brain to come across the body anytime we can. And still feeling that stretch through our side. Coming back to center, lacing our fingers behind us. And we're going to soften our knees and sit a little bit as we press our palms back and then open through our chest, open through the crown of our head. Freeing our heart. It's the most exposed it can be right now. Our arms are behind us, pressing it forward. Taking one more breath here, exhaling as we release the hands. Come back into mountain. And just taking a moment to come back to freeing our heart and mind, shaking out anything that feels tense. Maybe taking our hands to heart center or to our heart, closing our eyes. Taking a breath, regrounding. So for today's tree, we're going to not use our hands on our legs at all. So we're going to imagine, we can start with our hands at heart center. We're here. We're still that tree that's growing up. And we're going to root first. So we're going to start by lifting our left foot up. So starting here, and then point the toe and open up the left knee. And wherever it sits, that's where we want to be today. It's where our body wants to go naturally. Making sure our shoulders are here. And then in our tree, we could always tap down and help kickstand our foot, finding that position there. And then maybe imagining we're growing up to the sky. Maybe we have wild arms up and wide. Seeing if we can play with this a little bit, play with our balance. Flow our tree arms, our branches. Or hold them, finding the place that feels good. And maybe it's just heart center. Maybe that's where our tree is still at. Just being true to that tree. Whew. Engaging Pada Bandha on our standing foot or foot lock. Pressing down with the ball of the foot and the heel and lifting up with the arch. And we should be able to lift our toes. The balance is way off today. Interesting. Taking one more breath here. And then exhaling as we come back, feet hip distance apart, closing our eyes, and just feeling any adjustments on the right and left side of our body. Taking one more breath, bringing our hands to heart center, and then shifting our weight into our left foot, unweighting our right leg, lifting our knee up, opening out, and then finding tree on the other leg. And when we're ready, adding our branches. Maybe we're flowing in the wind. Maybe we're wide. Any variation of tree that feels good. Can we hear our own breath? Can we feel our own breath? Taking one more breath here. And then exhaling as you release that foot back down, regrounding. And then lifting our heels and the balls of our foot, rocking front to back. And maybe if we feel okay with that, closing our eyes. And then shaking it out a little bit. Whatever needs to shake, whatever needs to be released, let it go. What happens to animals when they get stressed or upset? When they're done, they shake it off. They shake it off and then they're good with it. So we're shaking off any tension, any stress that we're carrying. Taking one more breath here. And then shifting our weight into our right leg. Again, unweighting our left leg. This time bringing our knee up. And we have some options. We can either support it with our hands. We can extend our arms out to the side. We can open our knee out to the right. Finding any version of this balance that feels good. We can even grab it with the opposite hand and then rotate back into a twist. Ooh, you don't need to hop. I'm just showing you from a different angle. Finding our twist. Holding that balance. And then as we inhale, keeping the knee bent, but bringing it down by the other foot. Exhaling here, and then inhaling, we're going to hinge forward, extending that leg behind us and coming into warrior three. So the hip stays down, toes flex down to the floor, and then either hands down or hands out in front of us. We're falling. Taking one more breath here. Inhaling as we unhinge, bringing that foot right behind, underneath us. Closing our eyes and just noticing any sensations that come up for us, or any feelings or emotions. Breathe that in. Shifting our weight into the left foot. Unweighting our right foot, inhaling as we bring that knee up. We have all of these options. You can find whatever version of this lift feels good. Taking one more breath here. Coming back to center and bringing our knee down. Exhaling as we come down. And then inhaling as we hinge forward, extending the leg behind us, turning the toe down, moving our way to warrior three. Ooh. With control. Or maybe not. And we have all those options. We can have our hands on the floor, on a block. Taking one more breath here. And then unhinging, bringing that foot back to earth, closing our eyes. Rolling our shoulders away, back and down. Taking a breath. And giving a wiggle to anywhere that needs it. Shaking it out. Taking one more breath here. Inhaling up and exhaling as we hinge forward, forward fold. Placing our fingers and palms on the floor, we're going to step back into down dog. So today we're going to do wild thing. So we have lots of options. We could stay here in down dog or drop our elbows and find dolphin. We're going to start by unweighting our left foot, lifting it up. Inhaling as we come into a plank and bringing our knee towards our left elbow. Taking a breath here on our next inhale up. Exhale back down. So flowing 2 or 3 times here. You're going to get away from the couch. The next time we're up, we're going to let that leg roll behind us, open up our left hand, and look to the ceiling. Wild thing. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths here, and this is optional. Inhaling as we come back, lift that foot back up, set it down, and then pedal out our feet. Getting ready for the same thing on the other side, lifting the left foot up, inhaling, exhaling as we bring it down into our plank. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Taking 1 more breath here. And then the next time we're up, freeing the left hand, bringing that foot down, rotating back as we find wild thing on the other side. I'm having a right shoulder issue, so I can't get there. So I'm going to just keep my leg up. Finding wild thing. Inhaling as we roll it back. Return to our down dog. Soften our knees and press back into child's pose. Taking a breath or 2 here. Actually, a few more breaths here. I'm going to let Puppy back in. And then taking a moment, coming back up onto our hands and knees. I'm moving through a few cow and cat breaths. And then gently bringing one knee up and finding a seated position. We're going to bring our feet sole to sole. And just find butterfly. Bounce our knees a little bit, stack our spine. Hello, yoga dog. He's a good puppy. Taking a big breath in, lengthening through the crown of the head, and exhaling as we hinge forward, bringing our nose toward our feet.
Taking one more breath here. Inhaling as we unhinge, coming back to upright. And we're going to extend our left foot, keep our left foot bent, our right leg long. Inhaling as we reach up, and then exhaling, flexing through the right foot. Inhaling as we bring our nose toward our right knee, wherever it can go. We can rest our hands on our thighs, our shins, our toes, wherever feels good. And seeing as we exhale if we can release a little bit of tension that's in our spine or in the back of our hamstrings. One more breath here, inhaling back to upright. And then exhaling, bringing our left knee in. Sitting tall, reaching our right hand up. Exhaling as we wrap it around our left knee and turn back, reaching back with the left hand and looking over the shoulder. Marichyasana. Taking one more round here. And exhaling as we return back to center, extending our left leg long and bringing our right foot in. Flexing through the left foot, inhaling up as we come nice and tall. Exhaling as we hinge forward to our left foot. Inhaling as we unwind back to center, and then bringing the right foot back up, sitting tall, lifting our left hand, wrapping it around our right knee, and then twisting back, looking back over our right shoulder, feeling that twist through the spine, so letting the shoulders press down, feeling that twist, opening our heart one more time. Inhaling as we come back to center, walking our feet back in. We're going to make our way into boat pose. Grabbing the backs of our thighs, straightening our spine, and then rolling back, lifting our feet up, flexing through the feet. Imagine we're pushing on a wall, pushing our feet on the wall. If we feel okay with that, releasing our hands, palms up. And maybe we can flow our boat today. Inhale as we extend the legs. Exhale as we flex the feet and bend the knees. So taking a few breaths here. Or maybe just trying that with our arms on our legs. Seeing if we can feel this in our heart, in our core. Taking one more breath. Setting our feet back down, sitting tall. And exhaling as we collapse the spine. Grabbing the backs of the thighs. Using our legs for traction, feeling that rounding. And then dropping our elbows behind us, working our way onto our back and walking our feet in under our knees. Setting up for a bridge, tucking our pelvis, inhaling as we roll our hips up. And then holding our bridge. We can either let our hands rest palm up. We can interlace them behind our back. We can bring them up overhead. Any variation of bridge that feels good. That we feel that work in our legs and our glutes and our abs. Closing our eyes if it feels good. Taking one more breath here, and then exhaling as we come down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Releasing our hips to the floor, drawing our knees into the chest and giving ourselves a big hug and making any motion that feels good. Maybe rocking side to side, or maybe making circles with the knees. Anything that feels good on our hips and low back.
Taking one more breath here. Releasing our arms back out in a T. And then again, taking that windshield wiper side to side with our knees to wherever point we feel that we need. Maybe we want to go all the way. Maybe we just want to go part of the way. Releasing any tension in our hips. Planting our feet back on the floor. And then setting up for any pose we like for final relaxation. Maybe we open our feet wide and let our knees come together. Maybe we're setting up with Shavasana, extending our legs long. We could bring our feet sole to sole and find a supine butterfly. Any variation that feels good, that gives some release. If we close our eyes, imagine our heart beating. Picturing our heart, the love dove, the ventricles and the atria opening and closing, pumping oxygen, vitality through our body, helping us get rid of the things that we don't need, our wastes. Taking that image of our heart and bringing it out of our body and up into space above us. The love that we feel, what does it encompass? What does it include? In whatever version of our heart that we're picturing it, watching it float above us, and imagining that we are following it. Where will our heart lead us today? Where will our heart lead us tomorrow? In days and weeks and years to come? Can we be true to our heart and let it be our leader and follow along? Imagine our heart leading us to the place that makes us the most happy in the world, wherever that might be. Imagine you're in that place and you're lying down comfortably. Maybe it's on a sandy beach. Maybe it's in the bedroom in our room. Maybe it's on a soft bed of down in the forest. Can we breathe in all the things that that place brings to our heart? Joy, happiness, contentment, fulfillment. Imagining we're in this space. What does the air smell like? What sounds can we hear? Maybe it's birds, or people, or water trickling by in a nearby stream. While we're in this happiest place, imagine this heart we've been following coming back into our body. Pumping new energy, new life, new rest, new vitality into us every time it beats. Placing our hands on our heart in whatever position that we're in. Can we feel our heartbeat? Taking a moment to say a gratitude, a thank you to our heart for sustaining us, for keeping us alive, for moving us into the unknown,
with some courage and some strength. Staying here if we like for a little bit longer. Or if it feels okay, maybe wiggling our fingers and toes and making our way onto one side. Or maybe rolling up on our side in a ball in a fetal position. Maybe we need to be children again. What does that feel like? Do we remember the freedom of childhood? The joy of going to play, of doing what our heart most desired? Either staying where we are or making our way upright into a seated position. Finding our way with a straight spine. Reaching our fingertips out and inhaling as we come overhead, trying to touch our pinky and our thumb together, and then the base of our hand, so keeping an open cup and bringing this cup down to our heart. We're filling it with all of the joy, all of the good things from our happy place. What things nourish us and sustain us, keep us moving forward, bring us joy and contentment, filling this cup of love full of all of that goodness, taking a breath and then pressing it into our heart, bringing it homeward, bringing it inward. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I send you all my love.